to another video. I am doing a flan today. It's a Filipino flan. Right now, I'm actually going to start separating the egg yolks and the whites. We're not gonna use the whites today. I'm probably gonna have another video, so like and subscribe for more videos after this. Maybe I'll do another thing for the egg whites. So I'm separating eggs right there, and then yep, here we go. Always have two bowls if you're gonna do multiple eggs. It's easier. It's a lot more messy, but it's okay. Just make sure you wash your hands. All right. I'm two-handing the egg yolks right now. It's easier for me. A little white is fine, but the whites tend to get the flan a little harder, and we don't want that. We want nice and soft. Alright, here we go. Next is gonna be the condensed milks and the evaporated milks. Filipino flan doesn't usually use just milk. In the Philippines, we have more of the canned milk as an accessible, but it's okay. You don't have to add sugar or anything. It's just like egg yolks and these two, and you're good. Right here we have 4 condensed milk, and for every condensed milk, every can of condensed milk, the recipe uses 2 evaporated milks. So for here, I am doing 4 times on the recipe. I will put the recipe down below in the description. Let's check that out over there. And right now I'm doing the egg yolks and the evaporated milk right here. Just put everything together. That's the life. That's how easy it is. Not having the cream and not having milk and not having the sugar. Your sugar is literally the condensed milk. So right here I put 4, but you'll see later I'm gonna add another one. Just because to me it always needs a +1, but it's up to you. If you're doing big batches, it's a good idea to add like an additional condensed milk. But if you're doing only one batch, you don't need it. Just scoop it all out. Alrighty, next. You see, my hands are tradition. I mean, my grandma taught me to use your hands, but I don't want to, so I have a big whisk, and just I whisk it. Just whisk it in one motion. Don't make it, don't make too much bubbles. If you're using egg yolks that are pasteurized, sure, go taste it. That's fine. But if you're using raw yolks, I do not suggest tasting it. Just because of raw yolks. But the recipe is pretty easy to know that it's gonna turn out fine. Just remember to use egg yolks only. Don't use the egg whites. You can always do another recipe for the egg whites. Just mix it nice and incorporated right there. Alright, for here you can use cheesecloth. But cheesecloth, you're just gonna layer it a lot. But here I used what my grandma always uses. An unused shirt. I think I'm not gonna make it over here. There you go. Okay, got it. You don't have to use that. You can wash it and then reuse it later on. It's for another if it doesn't fit, but since I am doing a lot more, you're just gonna have to be careful. Just close it up. Don't squeeze it for the don't squeeze it at first. Let it drip on its own. You'll have less bubbles that way. Less resting time, because you really don't want the bubbles. If you have the bubbles, it's gonna be harder for you to get rid of them. You can always use, you know, toothpicks, and later on, I'll show you later. I think I did it here, but you see how there's bubbles right now? I'm squeezing the last bits of it. Yep, just use your hands. It's fine. There you go. Just the last drops, then you squeeze. But other than that, let gravity do the work for you. And of course, I'm gonna trash it right, because you know that's not usable anymore. Right here, I have two steamers. I have a traditional Filipino steamer, and I have I got it here in the U.S. It's a tamale steamer, basically. It has one strainer in the bottom and then a tall wall. But the Filipino one is a tiered steamer. Like any other Asian steamers, it's a tiered steamer. This is just aluminum and stuff. So just fill it up with water. Start to put in the stove and let it boil a little bit. Once it boils, turn the heat down. Just let it sit. Let it sit, let it steam, let it do its thing while you're doing the other stuff. Over here, it's a little quicker, but because it's a long process. It's this is how you make the sugar. I have yet to master the sugar, but if you're the principle is there's two ways of doing this. There's a lot of sugar, and you just a little water to start, and there's the other one, which is you let the sugar burn first. Once you see that caramel, add a little bit of water and start mixing it. Yes, the Western way of doing things is either you let the sugar boil with water or you don't. But it's just a matter of which one is better, you know? Just try yourself out. Don't get frustrated. Just keep doing it until you get it right. Here I'm using a like disposable foil loaf pans, the small ones, but you can use any high wall vessels for this one. You want it pretty small so it doesn't. You don't have a thin flan. You want it a little thicker. As the sugar boils, you do that. You set it up. Make sure it's clean, and you just do it right there. Okay, so I've pre-poured the sugar already. It's a little white, but it's okay. You do want it a little darker. This is my first batch of the sugar. I did another batch later on, and it looked better. See, so it's just really just trial and error. I mean, this is not my first time doing this, but the sugar still stumps me every time. I can't be a sugar maker, man. I can't be a candy maker. It's hard. As you can see, there's little bits in the thing, little bits of sugar. It did go hard, like candy hard, so I had to stop. That's why it's white. But you can keep it going for a smaller batch. I tried a smaller batch. It came out better. So you just get a ladle here and just carefully, trying not to have bubbles on the surface, just pour. I was doing two ladle pour, probably what 4 ounces each, maybe. So that's about 8 ounces, maybe less. But I say for this size, just do 4 ounces, 4 to 5 ounces. You don't want it too thick that it'll take you a long time to steam, but you don't want it too thin that it'll burn without yeah. Just carefully doing that. There's 2 ways of doing this. The other one didn't work with this loaf, but if you have like the the souffle style foils, it'll work with rubber band and parchment paper. That's usually the way traditional work. Well, not parchment paper, but we use like blank white paper, like the print papers. But here, just foil is fine. It does the same thing. It's just covering it so it doesn't get water all over itself. Just keeping the steam and the water out of the flan itself. So my steamer fits about 6 per tier. I have 2 tiers in total. And the tamale steamer is about the same. It's a tall wall, so I think I fit about 6 or 9. It really still depends on the size that you're cooking. The smaller ones, the souffle ones that I usually do, makes it better. More can fit. But here 6 is fine. It'll take you a little longer to cook, but it works as well. I don't know what happened to the camera on this one. Yeah, just fill it up. Alright, as you can see, this next one, I took it out. I took it off the heat, and I'm gonna start putting the first batch for this vessel right here. You can see I always use a triangle method because that's how it fits, without overcrowding. In a way, it still has the steam can still go up and around, using that middle and the sides and any holes in it. But yeah, I think I fit 6 or 9 in here, since it has a tall dome, a tall cover. There you go. So I have the steamer, but I have it. You see how you see it's smoking, but it's not bubbling. That's what you want. You want nice and low. No bubbling sounds, just straight out steam. And you do this for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on the size and how much you're doing. Mine took about 3 hours. Yes, it's gonna take that long, but in the end, patience will reward you with a amazing, soft, creamy leche flan. 3 hours later, time to take it out. I mean, it's gonna be hot, but you can do the 2-tone method if you can do something else, you know. As you can see, I'm using a two-tone method, taking it out over there. You don't have to. You can always just use your hands. I was not in the mood to getting burned today. I took the liberty of taking out the first batch. I put in another batch because I did make 4 times of the recipe, and there's a lot. I did about close to 30 loaf pans. It's not bad, but here you go. Here's the final product. Opening it up, you know, just you see how it's already shiny. That's what 2 to 3 hours will do you good. There is a little bit of moisture on the top, but it happened already when it's done, so it didn't mix with the other things, and it's fine. Look at that, nice and delicious. Trying to show it in the camera. Yeah, here you guys are, the first spoon. I mean, you saw it in the beginning, but see how it's jellified, but it's not as hard. That's what you want right there. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe as usual. I'll do more videos in the future. See you then.